All right, mate. How you doing? Welcome back to another IMO Live. We've got an hour-long live show coming at you today. I'm knackered, I'm not going to lie to you. I flew back from Sydney a few hours ago, so I'm getting the excuses in now. But we've got lots to cover. Obviously, we've got Stand Up For Your Club with our comedians battling each other. We've got the mass debate where we're going to talk about an issue within football and you guys are going to make a decision. We've got the sticker war, we've got the hashtag challenge. But before all that, we need to find out who's on our sofa today. Our first guest today, he's having a nice, I hope he's having a nice, it's David Vujanic. How are you, buddy?
Woo! Thanks, guys. Nice to see you.
Having a nice?
I'm having a nice right now.
I was worried, I didn't know what happens if you're not having a nice. What's the opposite?
You're having a bad.
Having a bad.
You can have many things. You can have a majestic, you can have like a hilarious, you can have anything.
Okay, but nice is what
having a nice is what you want in life.
All right, let's go for that today. We've got lots to talk about today with you, pal. We've also got hashtag United's own TJ, aka the Tarantula, aka Tom Jepson. How are you, buddy?
Very well, thank you. Yeah.
Spider boys.
Very well, thank you.
Spider-Man.
Nice to be here, thank you.
Thanks, mate. Are we going to see all 8 legs tonight? Or?
Oh, I hope so. They'll come from somewhere, mate.
Pop out. Well, we're going to crack straight on. Obviously, we talk about 3 big talking points from the weekend, or coming up, actually, in this case. Because our first talking point is going to be all about Champions League. Champions League's not really been something we've covered on IMO Live yet, because it hasn't, since we started it, there hasn't been any Champions League games.
No.
But today we're going to talk about the fixtures that are happening in the next few days. Don't forget, you can have your say, hashtag IMO Live. But first, let's talk about these games. Okay, so the 2 English teams, there's only 1 English team, involved this week, and it's Arsenal. And they're playing their old enemy, Bayern Munich.
Unbelievable.
Away in the first leg. What are our first impressions here? I know Arsenal fans were gutted when they got drawn Bayern again, but maybe is it another chance to actually I think they've lost them a couple of times in the Champions League. They've met and they've lost. It's the 11th meeting in general between the 2 sides. Bayern have won 5, Arsenal have won 3. There's been 3 draws in there as well. Bayern have won a record 15 consecutive home games in the Champions League. Is that what's going to happen on Wednesday night, Vuj? What do you think?
It's so sad for Arsenal. Yeah, do you know what I mean? For them to draw Bayern Munich again, it could have gone another way, but they got Bayern Munich. I feel sorry for them. And, they have their fan base is very emotional online. Very prevalent. We see them, of
course.
Arsenal TV, absolutely.
My mate Poet, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, they go a bit nuts online. So I think it's going to be another therapy session for them needed. It's going to be bad.
We'll see. Shout out to Poet, by the way. He couldn't be on the show tonight, but we're going to get him on soon. The funny thing about this occasion was Arsenal actually won their group this time.
Yeah.
The whole point was you win their group and you shouldn't get the hard match, but they won it and they still got Bayern. But TJ, is this an opportunity for them to, put this all to bed and beat Bayern Munich?
Silence the doubters, silence the critics. I'd say not for me, probably. Not for me. I don't think no.
Not for me, Clark.
I think they've had a bit of a shocker.
I
think everybody's just of that opinion already. They've written them off. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see an underdog win.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to rely. I think we're going to rely heavily on Özil actually coming out and playing for them.
Yeah.
That's really important for them, and he's just not really with it at the moment. He's not.
No, and this is usually the time in the season for Arsenal where it all starts to go wrong. They usually get knocked out of Champions League around this part, first knockout round, and then the season drops off in the Premier League as well, which we're going to talk about later. But on the other Champions League games, the big sort of standout draw is probably PSG Barcelona. And then they've played each other a few times as well. PSG have only beaten Barcelona once in their last 6 meetings. Just 1 defeat for Barcelona in their last 22 matches. PSG have won 10 and drawn 1 of their last 11 matches. So, I mean, these stats, all the Champions League teams are doing well in their domestic competitions as because they're the champions or there or thereabouts. Can we see an upset from PSG here?
No.
I think there's going to be a lot of goals in that game. I think it's going to be
goals.
Both. It's just everywhere, all over the place. I think both sides are. They've just got great forward lines. They're really competitive. I mean, Barcelona's forward line is just like outrageous. Though. You can't do anything.
When you got Luis Suarez on your side, you're scoring goals. And I miss him. And the rest. He's my favourite.
As a Liverpool fan,
they should beat them easily. I reckon 3-1.
And then we're going to talk about that actually, I think, in our Super 6 segment later. We've got Benfica Dortmund as well. It's probably the least interesting tie of the lot, but still a decent one. Dortmund, they're struggling in the league. Well, they're not struggling, but they're 7 points behind Bayern now. I know Bayern have got a 7-point lead actually. I'm not sure if it's actually Dortmund who are second or not. But they're strong in Europe usually. Benfica, tough opposition at home. Mitroglou, do you remember this name, Mitroglou?
I do.
Absolutely
not. Didn't
he go to Fulham for like 2 weeks and left back to Greece or something?
I think he went about.
He came on a holiday. He came on a holiday.
Yeah, he was about 10 mil or something.
I think he was a student.
A gap year.
I think he was in a gap year, student exchange, and then he just came back.
Well, he's smashing it now for Benfica. He's got 10 goals this season. But Benfica did come out the group stage with the fewest points. Dortmund are away at Benfica for the first leg. Can we see them getting a win there? What's your Dortmund knowledge like?
No.
You've got a Dortmund scarf next to you.
Yeah. I'm a big fan. Yeah, followed them for years. I can't say I know a lot about them, but based on previous, and I'll say Dortmund. They've got a good culture about them, Dortmund.
Well, interesting.
And excellent fans.
This is what I was going to say. Interesting fact. They've actually. I'm not sure if it will count for the home leg of this Champions League game, but their famous yellow wall, which is that big stand behind them where they go crazy, is actually going to be banned for a few games. No one's going to be allowed in that whole stand because of some stuff that went on in a recent match in the Bundesliga, which is a little bit unfair because it's like the whole. I think it's like 20,000 people in that stand, and they're not. None of them are glad to come.
Game over. Benfica for me then. Benfica.
Well, I'm not sure if it's that because this is that Benfica the game we're talking about here, but I'm just throwing it in there. There's a little bit of trouble with those fans at the moment. But we'll see what happens there. And the other Champions League game this week is Real Madrid-Napoli. Real Madrid obviously started the season this unbelievable unbeaten run that was going for ages, and everyone was like, Zidane's a king. He has dropped off a little bit, but obviously they are the reigning champions of Europe right now, and they're aiming for 7 straight quarterfinals. Bale could return from injury. Napoli, though, unbeaten in 18 games in all competitions.
I'm going to go a Napoli shock.
Really?
Yeah, I love Napoli. Just something about them and their players. And they got Hamšík.
Yeah.
Big fan of Hamšík, Eastern European with the hair. And he's grown into a really good player. I'm going to go Napoli, just to stir it up a little bit. I like Italian sides.
Fair play.
Italian very strong this year.
Yeah, he's a lot stronger than before. It's entertaining.
Oh, is it?
They could get a draw and then
overall
Napoli win it. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, well, we're going to move on to the second subject now, but it's nice to talk about a bit of European football because we've been quite Premier League based.
It's a nice song as well.
We have actually got some tweets, actually, on the Champions League. Should we see what people have got to say? Let's have a look at the first tweet on the Champions League. Arsenal to beat, this is from Heffin, Arsenal to beat Bayern, Sanchez to beat them single-handedly.
Obviously, banter with a hand.
Sanchez.
Hand banter.
Everyone's talking about him at the moment because obviously it's a contract issue.
Hand bants.
He's good enough, Sanchez, to beat Bayern, like on his own. He's a great player.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's so good. I mean, he was meant to go to Liverpool, but he just didn't want to in the end. He just wanted to come to London.
No, that's what happens.
That's what happens. That's annoying because Scousers are friendly.
Let's take a look at the next tweet. I think we've got another one here. George Moss, Arsenal don't have the qualities to compete with Bayern. Wenger's time is done. I mean, I want to do a whole IMO live at some point on Arsene Wenger, on the whole should he stay or should he go, because it seems like Arsenal fans change their mind every 5 minutes.
You will have guests. You have a plethora of guests to pick from.
Well, we've got to get Poet on for that one, I think.
Poet, Claude and Ty, please.
I think Poet is didn't get in though, isn't he?
I don't know.
You don't even know yourself.
No, but Arsenal fans are like Wenger in, Wenger out, shake it all about. It's just a bit mad.
All right, let's do the next tweet. The final tweet on this subject is from Trevor Wright. I think the winner of the FA Cup should get a Champions League spot. What do you think? It can't happen theoretically. It won't ever be allowed because Champions League has to be based on league positioning. But would that make the FA Cup cool again?
100%. And that is thinking outside the box. That boy there, I like you, Trevor, because he's thinking, why not?
Get him in the FA. They need some help.
Imagine if bloody Wickham were in the Champions League. I'm not saying they're going to win the FA Cup, but Portsmouth won it.
How about making a European league for cup winners?
The Cup Winners' Cup used to be a thing. Cup Winners' Cup.
There you go.
Bring
it back.
You want to bring it back, do you? Well, it's an interesting idea. It can't happen. It won't happen. But should it happen, maybe it would definitely make the FA Cup cool again.
Yeah,
but if it meant losing one from the Premier League, I don't know. I like the top 4 thing.
Yeah, I mean, it depends if there's money in it for UEFA.
Yeah, and that's what the problem with the FA Cup. The money in there isn't enticing enough for the Premier League teams anymore. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Next, I want to talk about, last week we talked about Leicester and whether they are going to go down or not. And obviously they've had another bad weekend. But it was about who beat them, which was Swansea, who a few weeks ago, everyone had written off. They get their new manager in, Paul Clement. No one really was sure if he was going to do the business. He's smashing it right now. They're up to 15th. They're 4 points clear of the relegation zone, which is unbelievable. Clement himself has had 3 wins in his first 5 games since he took over. Are Swansea going to beat the drop? For me, they were the team that looked dead cert to go down. Give it a month ago, 2 months ago. Now they're looking all right.
Yeah, for me, staying up. You?
Oh yeah, very much so. I think they've got momentum with them now. I think they're
having enough.
They got some.
Is Llorente up front?
Yeah, Llorente. Yeah.
I like him.
I think it's Sigurdsson's the key there.
Quality players.
I've got 2 names on my notes here prepared by Adam, the producer: Sigurdsson and Llorente. Right, that's what we're going to talk about. Sigurdsson's been good for a long time. I feel like. I mean, he was linked with West Ham around January. A lot of people I think would love to snatch him, but they kept him. Likewise, Llorente was actually linked with Chelsea because Conte knew him from his time at Juve. Likes a big target man, but Swansea hold on to both of them, unlike, for example, the likes of Hull, who sold a couple of their big boys, Livermore and Snodgrass. Yes, Hull brought people in, but untested. So keeping that 11 and like picking a settled 11 now is maybe what's going to keep Swansea in the league. Fair play to them. And the relegation race is really interesting at the moment because as interesting as the top 4, because I can't actually figure out who's going to go down. Like Swansea don't look like they're going to go down. I feel like Middlesbrough might get pulled into it.
Oh yeah.
But then Palace
are awful.
Palace are awful, but then the Big Sam thing makes me think he's going to sort it out eventually. But
you know what? I think it's Big Sam's time. I think it's time for for some comeuppance there. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be just.
I think Sam will go down, isn't it?
Honestly, he's I've been unfortunate enough to go to quite a few Palace games this year, and they're just playing dreadful football. Like they can barely string 2 passes together. They don't even look like they really want it. They're sort of putting their stock in players that don't really fancy it.
Like who, as a manager, like I don't know, a club would employ someone, like Hodgson or Big Sam would be 2 people, or maybe Pulis. I just wouldn't want on my club. It just speaks of like desperation and clinging on to like something that was.
The thing is, Pulis is a tricky one.
Pulis is doing okay.
He's changed his style completely.
Yeah,
West Brom.
All right, fair with him. But I think what Hodgson, for example,
Big Sam, it's not.
And Big Sam,
it's not inspirational.
You make that hire as a.
He was England manager for a week.
Well, as a supporter of a club who did hire Big Sam, you make that hire when you need to. You make that hire when you're in trouble. You know, and that's it was a good hire despite what happened at England. Big Sam at Crystal Palace made sense at the time for me because they were in danger of going down. But he hasn't done his normal.
How nice is it to see like someone like Paul Clement, who's like not necessarily got that history, who's just a bit like fresh and new to the game, but he's got a new kind of mentality to it and like a new kind of
old school
style of playing.
Managers just forget about it.
So I think that's
well. This is the problem though, because Paul Clement is doing quite well at the moment. Even if they've had 5 games at Swansea, people are already going to start talking about him in the England job because one, because there's such a lack of good candidates. 2, his background, he was at Derby before his first proper manager job, didn't necessarily set the world alight, but as assistant manager and coach, he's been at Real Madrid, Bayern Munich and Chelsea, I think. This guy's been around the blocks. He's been involved in very, very good players, in decent setups. Is this a problem with English football though, that we give him 5? It's about him and Eddie Howe are like the hopes for England at the moment. And like Eddie's been doing it for a little bit longer for sure, but
even Ed, he's like that's the flash in the pan. Tabloids just going like, we've got to put a stock in one English person who seems to be on a good run of form, and then now look at it, like nobody's shit 4 to 6 goals a week. There's no way you're going to bet Eddie Howe's England.
I'm still angry at Hodgson.
You're still angry.
Yeah, I'm still angry at that.
Still angry at Allardyce.
Oh yeah, Gareth Southgate's hard to be angry at as a man.
Not yet,
but if it goes wrong at a tournament, I'm sure we'll start.
So annoying.
But I mean, 12 months ago, people were saying the same about Pardew. He was doing well at Crystal Palace. It shows you how quickly things change. He's now out.
He's done a little shaky shake, and that was it. Innit? Done a shaky shake, and that's it.
So shocking.
Pardew's got a good entertainment factor, but he's not very likeable.
No.
All right, well, it remains to be seen who is actually going to go down. Let's see what the guys on Twitter are saying with regards to Swansea. Christian Nick says Swansea will stay up with Clement and Makelele. Let's not forget they've got Makelele in the coaching staff now as well. They have a solid defensive style. How much is Makelele to credit for all this? Because he's come in almost the exact same time they've started picking up points.
So, he's just that man, isn't it? Just keeps it ticking. At Chelsea, he was brilliant, and now, he seems like he's doing a good job with Clement, and they're doing well. They're doing well.
I met him briefly at the Euros, this event, and I was talking to him about playing like in CDM role and like how he used to do it. And he said the key thing, and maybe this is something that he's put in some of his players, is like enjoying the ugly part of football. He was like, I didn't get my enjoyment from scoring or assists. I got my enjoyment from tackling someone and passing the ball. So
hate scoring.
Same as the T. Scoring.
Not for me.
We've got not for me, Clive. We've got another tweet here. Dylan Keane, Swansea going to go down. Don't think Sigurdsson has the quality to keep Swansea up by himself. Okay, so Dylan's actually saying Swansea will go down despite their resurgence. What is Dylan? Is Dylan onto something now, or are we disagreeing with Dylan?
He didn't. Sorry, just grammar police. His S isn't a capital.
And he spelled it wrong anyway.
It's
all wrong. It's all wrong. The rest of it's spelled fine.
The rest is fine.
He's out. He's not great.
I mean, I don't think I'd I take Dylan's
I've had my own stats fact checkers at work today. They've been testing me as well. JC Williams, he's been testing me. He's a big Swansea fan, followed him around the country the whole time. There you go, hashtag that.
What's his?
And he's been he basically just pointed out Sigurdsson's been involved in he's got eight assists and 8 goals in this year. So he's literally that's the most being involved in the most number of goals in the whole of the league.
Really?
For any team. So that's amazing.
Well, yeah. I mean, so what happens if he gets injured? Though?
Absolute court. Yeah, absolutely. So that's a big game changer. But I mean, the other thing is if he wants to move, he get a transfer or anything like that. But he was telling me that he just he loves Swansea.
Yeah,
he's just out and about, and just loving life.
Out here.
How much is there to do
on the road?
Yeah, loads.
He's done it all.
Yeah.
Well, obviously Sigurdsson's going to be with them to the end of the season at least. But I think what it shows is if you've got a couple of key players, it seems like Swansea and Llorente becoming that for Sigurdsson and Llorente becoming that for Swansea. Keeping them fit and keeping them in the team, the difference it can make because. I mean, look at Leicester last year. Okay, they haven't had the same performance this season, but keeping Vardy and Mahrez in the team for so long and Kante, of course, was basically what allowed them to keep it so consistent.
Yeah.
This year they've had Vardy and Mahrez and they've just not been doing it. All right, should we move on to the mass debate?
Go on.
This is the one you guys get involved in. You click I on the top right-hand corner and you vote on it. Today's mass debate is, am I too old to pull off a backwards cap? No, it's not. It's the mass debate is...
No question.
The race for... What would you vote for on that, by the way?
What? No,
I was still laughing at the maths debate.
You like it? It's a good title. The mass debate is all about who's going to finish outside of the top 4, okay? It's not saying who you think is going to be in it, it's who you think is not going to be in it out of a certain teams we're going to talk about. We're assuming Chelsea are going to be in it, obviously.
Yeah.
It leaves 3 spots to spread between 5 teams. There's 2 people we think are going to miss out. You guys are going to click I and you're going to vote for the team you think are most likely not to be in the top 4, okay? And then the 2 teams with the most votes will be the teams that the audience think aren't going to make it. But we're going to have our chat about it first, okay? So there's obviously a few candidates, both your teams involved in this. Manchester United fan, TJ, Liverpool fan, Vuj. We'll start with, we'll do it in order of where they are in the league right now. So second place currently, Tottenham, although Man City will go up if they win tonight, because they've got a game that's happening straight after IMOLIVE. So currently second place Tottenham, unbeaten at home, but haven't won at the top 6 away all season. So when they come up against the big boys away, they've struggled. Do they have a squad to sustain it? They've got Europa League. They're still in the FA Cup. That's not the case for some other boys. Are Tottenham going to finish in the top 4?
I'm going to say yes.
You're going to say yes?
It seems like the season, last season we had Leicester winning the league. And for me, I would love, just to kind of like a mini cup that goes on, a mini competition, is Tottenham against Arsenal. I want Tottenham to finish.
You think maybe only one North London team might do it?
I genuinely think it's between those 2.
Really?
And they will come 4th. That's what I think.
You reckon Tottenham?
So you both think Tottenham will make it?
Finally, I just want Tottenham to be above Arsenal. It's just not fair anymore.
They missed out last year.
Every time, Arsenal do something, they'll go at least, or don't do something, they always go, at least we're above Tottenham.
Yeah.
I want Tottenham to give it to Spurs,
they're a team that you want to get behind as well. Because they're young, they're English. And they got
a Nando's badge for
to me, as a West Ham fan, they're not my favourite team. However, I do like their English backbone. It is nice to see. Out of all the big sort of top 4 clubs or whatever.
It's quick, it's pacey foot, it's interesting.
It's a young English
scoring
team.
Goals.
Ali, Carl Walker, Eric Dyer, Harry Kane.
They don't worry too much about defending, you know what I mean? They just sort of get out and about.
Well, I agree, although for me they are one of the candidates that could drop out based on the fact they're busy in other competitions. Currently 3rd place Arsenal, but you guys are saying Tottenham are going to stay in. Currently 3rd place Arsenal. We talked about it earlier, big Champions League clash. Both ways it could go. They could win it against Bayern, and then they've got that to deal with, so they've got the battle on 2 fronts, or 3 fronts with the FA Cup. They could lose it, and it could derail their season, derail their form. So usually they are the one team you can count on to finish top 4. Wenger's never missed out. Is this the season they do miss out, though? Is this potentially Wenger's last season if they do miss out?
I would love it if Arsenal missed out, just for the meltdown online. I want to go on Arsenal fan TV
backlash
and just get my popcorn and watch the meltdown.
I think surely if they go then there's like no question. Surely Wenger out. The only thing you get him is for sustain.
But he signed a new deal and he announced it after he lost the game. I would love it.
You talked about Tottenham, Arsenal. They have got a North London derby at White Hart Lane at the end of April. Could be decisive. Only Liverpool on worse form in the last 5 games out of these clubs than Arsenal. So they're dropping in form in that regard. Yeah. Remember, you're voting on who you think will miss out. Click on the I button. Who's going to miss out on top 4? 4th place Liverpool. This is your team, Vuj. They're back on form, obviously, after a win this weekend against Spurs. You can, obviously, they dropped serious points against Hull, but when you beat someone like Spurs, it's a 6-pointer, as they call it. It puts you back on track. The question is, are they a one-Mane team?
Ooh, I see what you did there, my brother.
I like that. That's the handshake. I'm urging.
Sorry, we're filming this in London.
Still want it? Yeah.
But seriously, are you a one-man team?
I think we are a little bit, yes.
Really?
You got a Coutinho there, and Matip is a solid player. Coutinho and Mane, of course, are our stars. Mane is just something else recently, and he's just been a revelation. I hope, obviously, as a Liverpool fan, I'm going to say we're going to stay in, but I sense us missing out. I'm so used to disappointment in my footballing kind of life, supporting life since 2005. The last 10, wow, it's been 12 years since the Champions League. I'm going to say we're going to miss out because I'm just used to the disappointment. I feel like if I say we miss out, we're going to get us getting it, I'll be so happy.
But is that what your not your heart, is that what your football brain is saying?
Yeah, my heart is like, we're going to get it, of course. My mind is just so used to the disappointment. I thought we were going to title challenge this season.
Well, it looked that way.
And we bottled it against Bournemouth and Burnley and Swansea.
You have bottled it.
I'm sorry. So I don't want to see you in the top 4, but I think but then I don't know. They've got 2 weeks off now. They're going to go. They're going off to La Manga to have a golf weekend. They're going to go and chill out. It's basically like pre-season for them.
This is why. Surely there's no excuse for them then if they don't get top 4 this year.
Is it international break?
Because the start they had.
It's FA Cup and Champions League.
Because you're not in anything else.
Yeah, you just you did Arsenal a month early. So
we talked about Spurs, didn't we? Like having all.
And we have Arsenal next, actually.
Yeah, but you've got nothing else to worry about apart from the Premier League. For me, with the start you had, and now Mane's back, there's not really any excuse.
And they've got quite an easy run in as well. I think they haven't got. I think
we have got Arsenal next.
Yeah, you've got to play Arsenal. But compared to other people like United got one of the toughest.
So we'll get onto United in a sec. But so Vuj is saying Liverpool might miss out. What are you saying? Miss out?
I think Liverpool are going to get it. I think
they will get it.
I'm going to go with my heart. They're going to get it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Next, Man City obviously currently plays 5th, but if they win tonight, that will change pretty quick. They'll go up to 2nd, in fact, if they beat Bournemouth. That front 3 seems to be settled. They've got Jesus with Sterling and, of course, Sané. Yeah. Super quick, super young, lots of potential there. I mean, are they going to finish top 4? It seems logical to think they will.
Very Man City. I feel dirty just saying that Liverpool and City are both going to get top 4, but if I want to have any credibility, I just think they're I think City just they're excellent.
They're good, Man City.
And I feel like they've got comfortable with each other, and they've got a front 3 that Pep likes and gets on with, who are young again, and. I think the only way's up.
And if it's all going wrong, they just bring Aguero off the bench.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a bad option.
At least until the end of the season.
Yeah.
Man City to definitely stay in the top 4.
All right, City to stay in the top 4, to get in the top 4, and then finally. TJ, your team, currently 6th place Man United, unbeaten in 16 games.
Forever 6th.
Still 6th.
Due a loss.
I mean, you're going to either start losing or you're going to go up the league. One of them's got to happen.
Yeah, no.
But obviously the point gap has completely changed. You had a massive gap between you.
You guys are close, 2 points.
Yeah, the whole thing is so close.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm actually really pleased with this season. Well, since Christmas or before, just before when we've started putting together some good moves and actually entertaining football. Because but that early period we were getting, just playing really dull stuff.
Yeah,
we weren't breaking anything down. But I don't know, we sort of we're very again we're heavily reliant on Zlatan, who actually even his shot to goal ratio is really rubbish or something. I don't know, but we need to get goals from elsewhere. I think if we're going to win, we need to build up that squad, and we're still fighting on all 4 fronts and everything. It's crazy.
Europa League, Thursday night games.
I think in the league, I don't know if we can really afford to miss out on Champions League, but I think we might. I don't know. So.
Do you think you're going to get top 4?
No.
Vuj?
Yes.
Man United to miss out.
Really? Okay, so let's clarify then. You guys will be voting, and we'll reveal your votes at the end of the show as to who you think is going to miss out on the top 4. Click on the I button, vote for who you think is most likely to not get it. Tej, who are you saying is going to miss out in the top 4? You're saying Man United is one of them, and who's the other team?
Arsenal.
So no Man United and Arsenal in the top 4 for Tej.
Yeah, but United.
Is that the same for you, Vuj?
Yes.
You're saying the same?
Yeah.
That
would be my heart. If my heart
Okay.
would like to just see the meltdown of fan groups online or rivals, I don't really care about Man City. They don't really have any fans. And you got Chelsea. They're going to win the league, so let's just forget about that.
I'd like if there is some Man City fans watching, by the way, get in touch. I'll get you off.
Nice. But Man United and Arsenal, we don't get along. And just Arsenal, I like the club, and I actually like Arsenal, Wenger. but just for the bants.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I predicted Arsenal to miss out on top 4 at the start of the season.
Get out of here.
Start of the season, but then they brought in Mustafi and the Perez.
But have they been great?
A little bit better. But I'm going to say actually, I think Liverpool are going to miss out, and I'm going to say I think either Tottenham or Arsenal will be the other team. To make it interesting, I'll say Tottenham. I'm going to say Tottenham and Liverpool to miss out, just to mix it up a little bit. Well, it's different to you guys.
No, but then I mean, both of those got thin squads, and they just get hit by an injury, and then
we're done. Mane out for us, and
let's see what the tweets are saying. The first
tweet
is from Per Gunner. Manchester United are not going to finish top 4. Fair play to Mourinho. He's onto something and he needs time. So they may be saying that next season's a big season for you. How much of a problem will it be for Mourinho if he doesn't finish top 4?
I think it just puts so much pressure on next year.
Next season will be big.
Just from the accountants' perspective, financially, they very much need to be in the Champions League. So
well, it changes who you can attract in the summer as well.
Oh, absolutely. Well, yeah, I don't know if people will want to leave. I think
will it change whether Zlatan wants to stay?
Ooh.
Yeah, good point. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like he's quite happy with Mourinho. I don't know. I think
your form's fantastic, and I think the mood, I imagine, as a Man United fan right now is pretty good. But I think you do actually still need to get top 4, quite importantly. We'll see. I've got another tweet here. This one is from Brad. I think Arsenal and Liverpool will miss out because I think Sanchez will do a Payet, and that's Liverpool's defence. And that Liverpool's defence isn't strong enough. Okay, I think Liverpool defence comment is valid.
That's a valid comment, bro.
You got Milner left back, who's actually probably been your best defender.
Yeah, and he's not that.
No, he's not a defender.
We've got right midfielder / defensive midfielder. It's actually just a midfielder. A very prominently right-footed midfielder playing left back. We've got Lucas, who has the body of a child, playing next to him as centre back. We have Matip, Bigfoot Matip, long foot. When he's not injured, I mean, if he's injured, let's take him out. He's not there, and you put Lovren in there. Oh my god!
Or Klavan.
Or Klavan, Ragnar. I mean, his name's something like Lord of the Rings. No offense to anybody named Ragnar. And Lovren himself, from the Balkans, he's just not good at them aerial balls. He's just always ducking them almost. And then who's at right back for us?
Klein's good. Klein's decent.
Yeah, Klein's all right. He runs.
Yeah.
Klein runs, gets a cross in, and it hits the first man. That's what generally happens. Or he has a shot over the bar. But yeah, he's decent.
Yeah.
And you got Mignolet and Karius.
The defence is weak.
Our defence
should have brought Joe Hart.
Mignolet as well. Mignolet.
I felt awful.
Suspect as anything.
What's that Norton antivirus back in the day? Bro, every malware was there. I mean, remember? LimeWire and Norton ain't stopping anything. So yeah. I was saying, my dad used to hate me. He was getting a £50 Norton a year, and then it always goes through. Like I had real word anyway.
What about Sanchez doing a Payet? Obviously, what you're referring to there is if obviously it kicks off, he doesn't get his contract, his form might drop. But I feel like Sanchez is the sort of player that just when he's at your team, he'll just play it, give 100% regardless. He loves it.
Them South Americans, they're not playing.
No,
they're not here to have a little jolly time. They're here to make a career, to give back home, to support everybody. That's where they are. I love Sanchez.
Yeah, I like
the passion he shows, getting his gloves off, getting people's faces. I love that. It's a one-man team as well, but he's got something, and I wish he came Liverpool. I'm still angry at that.
Let's have a look at the last tweet on this topic. It's from Les Sport Rye. Liverpool will probably miss out. They just don't have the quality players. They're only one Mane injury away from another crisis. We touched on this. I mean, that's from Les Sport Rye. If Mane does go, it could be it could be the downfall for you. But you haven't got the other competitions to worry about. So if you do keep him fit, I don't feel like when you were smashing it before Christmas, Mane was a huge part of that, of course, but Coutinho was banging him in. Lallana was on fire. Firmino was great. Either Mane is the key that unlocks all of that, or quite a lot's been made out of the Mane thing, and maybe it's other stuff going on behind the scenes, or just other players that have been key. But we'll see what you guys think at the end of the show. We'll reveal who has essentially won the mass debate, what 2 clubs are most likely to miss out on the top 4. Click the I button. Vote for who you think's most likely not to make it. Okay, let's move on now. Super 6 preview time. Our partners at Super 6. Every week we get involved. We predict 6 results on Super 6. This week's actually midweek games. It's a couple of Championship games and some Champions League games. If you don't know how Super 6 works, you've got to try and predict the results and score from 6 games coming up. If you smash it and get them all exactly right, you get £250,000, and it's completely free to play.
That's some money.
It's literally money.
Oh, money.
You can download the app for free. The link's in the description. You can join my league, compare yourself to me. I'm actually had a pretty good week this week. We're going to start off with having a look about how I did. So let's get it up on the screen.
Saucy, spend.
So this was my last week's predictions. Man United, Watford, I got exactly right. 2-0 to Man United. So I got correct score, 5 points for that. Middlesbrough Everton, I predicted 0-0, 1-1, and I got a load of stick from Everton fans. Apparently, I've got an Everton agenda, someone said, because I predicted they'd draw Middlesbrough, and they did draw Middlesbrough, so cheers for that. Yeah. Stoke Palace, I predicted 1-0 to Stoke. I got that exactly right. This one was the one I got wrong. I said Sunderland were going to beat Southampton 2-1, and they lost 4-0, so that was a bad one for me.
That was unexpected, though, wasn't it?
West Ham, West Brom, I predicted the draw, and I got it. And then Brighton, I predicted the win, and I got it. So I actually got, I think...
you only got one wrong.
I know, I only got one wrong, but you have to get all the scores right as well. I got 16 points in total, which is pretty decent. I think I came 27th in my league last week, which is thousands of people in. Wow. And I think I'm like 70th overall in the league now, but some people are absolutely smashing it in that
league. Nice, bro.
Let's have a look at the results of last week's league, actually, while we're here, and we can see how everyone else is doing in it. We're going to get them up now. You play Super 6, don't you?
Don't, not for me.
No. I thought I've seen you on there before.
No,
I'm definitely going to
get involved, man.
I'm going to join.
So, yeah.
Get the app.
I'm going to get the app.
Join the league. We're going to get the results from last week up, and then we're going to predict our 6 results for this week. Make sure you let us know what you think about these games. Hashtag IMOLIve on Twitter. Make it happen, people. Have we got the results? Here we go. Okay, so this was last week. I was 24th in the league. I say there's thousands of people in there. 3 correct results, 2 correct scores, 16 points in total. But these 5 people at the top here, Corey Harris, Danny Crew, Luke Metcalf, Jamie Young from Purfleet, and Jamal Shelley all got 19 points.
They got all,
they absolutely
all
bossed
right,
it.
or?
Well, they all got 2 results correct completely. I actually got 3 results correct completely.
Oh.
But they got 3 scores completely right, which is ridiculous.
Connell was so close.
They were all 1 game away from getting all the results right, but no one was quite there in terms of getting all the scores right, which gets you 250k. If no one gets 250k, then the top person gets $5,000, which is pretty decent. It's free to play. Check the links in the description. Get involved. Let's take a look at the 6 games we need to guess this week. I'm gonna need your help for this one, guys.
Okay. I'm joining that, cuz.
So these are 2 of them in the Champions League games.
Apartment, man, you know. Gonna get my mum or a house.
Look, we've got some stats. PSG, Benfica, Dortmund first. This is their most recent game that goes to 6 games ago. 57% are saying Dortmund for the away win. Both of them coming off a win, draw and loss in the last 3 games. Are we going to go with that? We talked about this earlier. We're going for the Dortmund away win? What do we think?
Yes, from me. Dortmund away win, absolutely.
Yeah.
Man's not on that.
You think no?
No, I'm going Benfica.
Benfica?
Yeah.
I'm going to meet in the middle then. I'm going to say draw.
There you go.
I like that.
I'm going to say 1-1 draw. Benfica, Dortmund, I'm going to say 1-1.
Cool.
Okay, that's gone in there. That's the magic of live
TV. Yeah, you're good with that.
I did that. No
eyes, mate. Yeah.
PSG, look at the greens here. Look at the greens. PSG and Barcelona are both on really good form. PSG actually had 5 wins for their last 6, whereas Barcelona had 4. But 68% think a Barcelona away win.
Okay.
What are we saying? I've got an idea in my head, but I want to hear what you think. 2-2, Desmond 2-2.
Desmond 2-2.
There's going to be at least 7 goals, and Barca are going to win. Right.
7 goals, Barca are going to win. I am going to say PSG are going to win 1-0.
Okay, all right, yeah. No.
It always does go quite tight in the first leg, actually. That's a good point. Okay, fair play.
Yeah.
Fair play.
It could happen. I think Barca will win the draw overall. I think they'll go through.
You're not on your phone and it's just changed.
I know, it happens. It's very clever. That doesn't happen with everyone that has a Super 6 app, though, guys. Okay.
Pretty impressive,
right, with Championship now. I don't know what your Championship knowledge is like. We've got the stats to help us.
Yeah.
I'll follow it a little bit.
Brighton, Ipswich. Equally, they've had the same 3 results again last 3 games. Win, draw and loss. Brighton, home, are doing better in the league.
They're second, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we've got to go for a home win here, surely. 91% of people have.
Yeah,
3-1, like 2-1.
You're saying 2-1?
3-1.
I'm going to say 2-0.
Yeah, I'll go, confident.
Go 2-0. Norwich, Newcastle's a good one.
That's a good game.
That is a good one. Lots of greens in there again. Oof. Both teams in decent form. Championship, you never know.
I'd go with Rafa Benitez.
They both went down last season, didn't they?
Yeah.
They both went down, and Norwich, that was a very close game. It was like 3-3 or something. Remember, it was a really good game.
Well, you had a great game with Norwich as well, Liverpool-Norwich.
Did we?
Unbelievable game. Was that last season? It might have been the season before, to be fair. It was like 5-4. It was last.
No, we have great. Oh yeah, Lallana. Yeah, when he hugged Klopp and the glasses fell.
That was the one where Klopp went crazy.
Yes.
What were we thinking?
2-1 Newcastle.
I'm happy with that.
I'm not trying to disagree with you guys, but I'm going to go with a draw. I just think it's too. I'm going to go with the 34%. I'm going to say 2-2 in that one.
He's got insider knowledge anyway.
Insider knowledge. It hasn't happened yet. I saw that one earlier. Yeah. Leeds, Bristol. Dan Brown, #'s a Leeds fan.
Oh, I love
81%.
I love it, Leeds.
Look at all the L's though.
Took L's, bro. They take L's on a regular.
They played Huddersfield the other day, didn't they? That was quite a tight game, wasn't it? Yeah, I'd say Leeds are on the back on the up. They need to be. So
if they take just in spirit and embody Harry Kewell, Viduka,
Alan Smith,
pretend they pretend
done.
Just embody that spirit. I'm gonna go for a Leeds win.
All right, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna say 2-0 to Leeds, and then Aston Villa Barnsley in our final game. Aston Villa's form is horrendous.
Wow.
No greens in there.
Wow, taking L's. Wow.
Barnsley's a little bit better, although 64% are still saying Villa. Now, I think this, because a lot of the guys that do this, myself included, probably don't watch a lot of Championship, and they know Villa's, obviously, their name stands out a lot more than Barnsley's does. But if you look at the form,
it's dreadful. Yeah.
Would you go Barnsley?
Oh, what's wrong with Villa, bro?
Do we go with the upset?
I'm going to go down again.
I'm going with the draw.
I'm going with the draw?
Yeah, for me.
No, I'm going to... Yo, that's mad. Oh, I'm going to go for a draw as well. Yeah,
horrible, isn't it?
That's bad.
Horrible to look at. All right, should we go 1-1?
Yeah, I like 1-0.
Yeah,
Let's go 1-0 in that one. And finally, golden goal prediction. I usually stick this in the 6th minute every time, so let's just stick it in 6th. Bing!
I go.
Oh, I missed it. Do it now. Bang, there you go. 6th minute done. Submit the entries. That's where you're just guessing what the minute of the first goal in those games will be. I actually got that, I think, last week, bang on as well. So that's Super 6 done. Join my league, get involved, download the app, completely free, links in the description. Now, time for my favourite segment of the show, guys. I don't know if you've seen this before or not. If not, you're in for a treat. It's Stand Up for Your Club, okay? We've got 2 very talented comedians. We've got Marlon Davis, Liverpool fan. We've got Luke Benson.
I think I watched him, you know.
Really?
Once in like comedy club. Yeah.
I'm not sure what we're going to do about the voting on this one, because he's a Liverpool fan as well, so I might have to keep Vuj off it.
That's what we're doing.
We've got Marlon Davis, Liverpool. We've got Luke Benson of Newcastle. So it's a Liverpool-Newcastle clash. In the prior years in the Premier League, Newcastle versus Liverpool has been an amazing fixture.
Massive game.
I'm hoping it's going to be the same for Stand Up for Your Club. 2 comedians, they're going to take each other on, take the mick out of each other's teams and each other, and at the end, we're going to have to decide who won the battle. You guys ready for this?
Wow, yes.
Yeah, very excited. Come on.
Okay, well, have a good game, guys. Marlon Davis for Liverpool, Luke Benson for Newcastle. Stand Up for Your Club.
Hey, do you want to go first, mate?
Well, you can go first, it's cool. Ladies go first.
All right, I do have a ladies first, that's fine. I've just got to say before we do get started properly, like when it comes to our clubs, I mean, we're not even in the same league.
Damn right.
So,
Literally.
Damn right. You guys are probably famous for being 9 points clear and nearly winning the league, and Kevin Keegan saying, "I love it if we beat him."
Yeah, that's what made him such a terrible primary school teacher.
I love it if we beat you. Right now, that's what's going on.
You're calling do you use the royal we, Marlon? That's interesting, isn't it? It's a strange choice. I don't know whether you know this, I don't imagine you do, but Liverpool, football club, have been valued at £141 million. That takes the whole value of Liverpool to the same.
You
like that?
Some people brush their teeth before eating, and then some people wear their shirts backwards. And 52,000 people go to watch Newcastle FC.
Yeah. It's the same viewing figures as Emmerdale. I don't know. All right, mate, nice one. What was that? I don't know. I mean, I don't know loads about Liverpool, right? I happily admit that I don't know loads about Liverpool. I mean, I thought the Paisley era had something to do with cravats.
Damn, fun. I like that.
It's nice, yeah.
It's nice, it's
nice. Ting
Tam. Yeah. Well, with you guys, Newcastle United, I think you guys are more or less famous for taking our rejects. You've had Kevin Keegan, one of ours.
Yep.
Then after that, you had Dalglish.
Yep.
Yeah. Same thing that happened, you took Barnes.
Right.
Rush.
Yeah.
Michael Owen.
Yeah.
Barry Venison.
Barry Venison was a legend.
For us.
The guy he had the hair of a parrot. He was a golden parrot.
Yeah, and the skill of one too.
Yeah. I mean, if we're going to go with aged Newcastle rejects, I mean, who's the champion of your left back at the minute and captain? Would that be James Milner? I think it would, wouldn't it? And then you've got is it Wijnaldum? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. But I mean, it's not like you need our rejects. You've got enough on your own. I mean, Sturridge is depreciating so rapidly that celebration's just him taking his jacket off.
Celebrating not being injured. Yeah. That kind of thing. It's nice. I mean, when it comes down to it as well, we want to talk about your owners, because football's glamorous times. You know, we've got Sheikh owners, Russian owners, and you've got Mike Ashley, who's the sports director of owners.
Yeah, I mean, you can say
it's Fergie time, guys. It's Fergie time.
All right, because Mike Ashley runs the club like it's a business. You know, I mean, slave labour and permanent closing down sale.
Hear that. I mean, we're famous for women winning the European Cup 5 times, and you're famous for going down 5 times. You've been down more times than a girl in Geordie Shore.
Final whistle. That was a good ending, to be fair.
That's some bloody fire.
Come and join us, lads. Come and join us.
No.
Come and join us.
Come and join us.
That escalated quickly there. The Geordie Shoreline, powerful.
There you
How did you find that?
That was alright, you know.
I thought it was really good fun, thanks.
Liverpool, Newcastle. Did you
say it
feel like
again?
you edged it or not?
Of course we did. We edge it. We always edge it. 4-3. I think that's what it was. Done it again.
We're going to go to a vote in a minute, but
Right.
you confident?
I felt like I was hoping Fergie time was going to run a bit longer, or maybe take it to penalties. I had a strong bench with a couple of real super subs there, just waiting to come out. They had the tracksuits off, and the whistle went.
To be fair, your last line was powerful.
It was a powerful.
It was like Collymore
But
back in the day.
It was powerful.
Against Newcastle. Yeah.
we're going to have to go to the votes though. Because I'm not going to. Usually I just let the guest choose, but as you're a Liverpool fan, I'm going to let us, all 3 of us, vote.
Okay.
Because I think otherwise this could be one way. So we'll start with you. Who are you going for the win there, Liverpool or Newcastle?
I've got to stay true to.
You're saying with Liverpool?
Yeah, I can't just give it to Newcastle. You know what I mean? Like that would just. You know what I mean? Liverpool, innit?
Over to you, Tej.
Sorry.
My man here, it's the late winner.
You going Liverpool as well? You didn't take it to Denmark. You could have taken it to Denmark.
I know.
Wow. It was a last-minute winner. All right, well, just to make you feel better.
You've gone down again, mate. You've gone down.
I'm going Newcastle for my vote. So it's 2-1 at the end. But Liverpool has won. Congratulations.
Yeah, well done.
Decent. All right, thank you very much for that, lads. We're now going to move on, and we're going to do the IMO 11. Okay, you guys stick around for this, please. We've got some. We can talk some football later on. So, but at this point, Dave, your job is to try and induct someone into my IMO 11. Okay, this is the team we started when we started this live show. I build it out with my 11 sort of favourite footballers from my life, not necessarily the 11 best, but like people. Here was the current 11. So it started off. The back 4 goalkeepers remained the same. Pirlo, Davies and Zidane have been in this since the start, but those 3 up top, Gascoigne, Shearer, you like both of them?
Yes.
Newcastle.
Yes.
And Henry have all been brought in by
I
previous
love this team
guests.
so much.
It's a decent team, but your job is to try and induct someone new into it. You've got to tell us who you want to put in, who you want to replace, and then the audience at home are going to decide whether that player makes it in or not. So who do you want to replace in there, mate?
Bobby Moore.
You're going for Bobby?
What? Man, I think that's the most controversial one I could go for.
Bobby Moore is the weak link, apparently, according to
Yeah, I would,
World
because
Cup winning captain.
he played in an era which just wasn't at the level that it's at right now. Do you know what I mean?
But do you not think it's nice to have someone from an old era?
Like, when was it? World War II? When was it about?
Someone into history.
66.
20 years after the World War.
66.
Yeah.
That's like Vietnam War. All right, that's some while back.
All right, we need to hear.
Vietnam was
quite a big gap between
that was a
Vietnam.
bad war.
We need to hear who you want to replace first of all, and then you got to make your case for it, and I'll make a case to why that's a bad idea.
I mean, I'm gonna go for Nemanja Vidic.
Nemanja Vidic.
Yeah, I think because look at that. Imagine
The Serbian War, I think.
exactly. He actually
Engaging players based on conflict.
because of he actually turned down to fight. Well, he couldn't fight because he was a football player. They let him not
really?
fight. Yeah. But I would put Nemanja Vidic.
So Vidic is someone close to your heart as a Serbian yourself.
Yeah.
He's like
And,
your centre-back hero.
War man myself. Yeah, no, I'll put him in because I think he's a man that would put his head on the line. I think he got kicked in the head and he carried on playing.
Yeah.
It's just lovely. He
Lovely.
He will murder.
That's
Lovely.
and yeah, he will put his heart on the line. And I know no disrespect to Bobby at all. If you look, just we're talking modern football here. You got Cafu, absolute, just amazing player. I used to love Cafu. Vidic there, Paolo Maldini, and Roberto Carlos. You'd kind of go.
But the thing is,
because you don't know if Bobby Moore could hack the pace of modern football.
it's actually not technically a Sir, which is another thing that annoys me about it, because they don't.
Well, he's not a Sir.
Because they don't give Sirs posthumously. So if you died, you can't
Take it
become
back.
a Sir. So he should be a Sir, 100%. I'm going to do my case for defending Bobby now. Okay. I like Vidic for sure, but I think if you sat here, I know we said it's not about the best 11 players ever, but they're all a certain level of footballer. For me, the only one there that's the same level as Vidic, I'd say, is Gaza. Everyone else, I think, is a level above Vidic and what he did in his career personally. I think he was great. I think he was a great centre-back at Manchester United. But some of these guys, I mean, okay, he's from Serbia. He's never going to be a World Cup winner. Sorry, mate.
No, we're not.
But I feel like these guys are legends of the game. Bobby Moore particularly. Maybe in someone not from England, he wouldn't be in their team. This guy's a captain of our only English team that's ever won a World Cup.
Did that ball even cross the line?
It doesn't matter. He didn't strike anyway. He was at the back defending. Listen, obviously as a West Ham fan, he's a legend as well for me. But taking that aside, as an England fan, he is one of our. We had a debate the other week about whether Rooney was the best England player of all time. He's got to be up there on that debate because of what he did for us. For me, he's much more of a legend than Vidic is in this country.
I probably agree with you, to be fair, but
I mean, look what.
An Eastern European taking out an Englishman out of your 11, I think that's pretty cool.
Stealing our job.
Stealing your top 11 right now. That's what I'm doing right now, stealing your job.
It's up to you guys to decide. Okay, should Vidic take Bobby Moore's place? Click the I button. You can vote. We're going to watch the hashtag challenge with TJ now, and at the end we'll come back and reveal whether Vidic is in the team or whether Bobby has kept his place. No defenders have been voted off yet. Are we going to see that happen?
It's going to be tight
today? Would you put Vidic in for Bobby?
No.
Never. Would anyone? You're a Man U fan, so there's a little bit of a clash there.
Yeah, definitely. I like him. He's a great player. I love Vidic.
You'd put Vidic in?
What a great player he was. Unbelievable. One of my favourites.
You're lying.
I've been stitching up United all episode. I've got to support him somewhere.
Right, well, speaking of stitching up, should we watch your hashtag challenge?
Brilliant. Yeah, thanks.
Every week we put a hashtag United player through their paces in the hashtag challenge. We're going to take a look at TJ's now. We're going to have a chat about it. And then after that, we're going to have a look at the leaderboard and see whether you think it can get... I think I'm top at the moment, so whether it can overtake me or where it's going to fall next. But should we have a look at your challenge first?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Here we go then. This is Tom the Transfer Jepson, hashtag challenge. Here we go.
You mark, get set, go.
It's off. What were you thinking at this point?
I'm just loving it. I'm just loving being out in the sunshine, to be honest.
It was quite a fast pace. I thought you started off pretty quick here.
And then just now I'm thinking, why can I taste blood in the back of my mouth?
Also, you've not gone with the regulation shorts or socks?
No, we're trying out the training gear from Umbra. Yeah, great stuff.
Are you doing well?
Now I'm really puffing here. I'm thinking,
halfway.
You're doing well.
Yeah.
This is quite good.
Good canter there.
He's slowing up though, isn't he? He's slowing up. About to go past Jacko.
I'm down to my last two legs here, mate.
Look at this.
What's Jacko?
He's lost his head, literally. He's hidden it in his shirt.
It looks so slow.
You've almost completed your sort of 350-metre sprint.
Yeah.
You're about to go past the boys. Now you've got to do the hurdles.
Very supportive, the lads.
Oh no, hurdles.
Yeah,
hurdles. Now that is one of my specialities, so let's hope.
Here we go.
Good job.
Oh,
Lots of
okay.
clearance.
oh decent.
Oh, mate.
Look at that man gallop.
Not my first time.
Up and down like Newcastle.
Okay, still going. Okay, so no penalties for you there. You didn't hit a hurdle, so no 5 seconds lost.
At this point,
If you hit a cone, you'll lose 5 seconds as well.
He's like Coutinho on the ball.
Can we put him in for Gaza?
let's go.
It's decent. Right, you're clear.
I'm good at dribbling.
Can you
Shoot
score,
it
though?
with power. That's my key.
Can you score? That's the 15-second penalty, team. It was decent until then. Look at the save from Jacko. Down
Jacko.
quick. Decent save from Jacko. Well done, TJ.
Thanks, mate.
Rate that.
Well done,
Well, big save from Jacko there, because until then, I would have said you'd be a contender. You were fast, you had no penalties on the hurdles, no penalties on the cones.
Come so far.
What happened to the finish? Was it just tiredness?
I often panic under pressure, and when it really comes down to it, I just couldn't face it.
Rumble.
Jacko, if you stare Jacko in the face, then you see your life flash before your eyes.
He looks right into your soul.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
So we're going to have a look at should we have a look at the leaderboard?
Yes, please. Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
this is the leaderboard before you go on it, okay? You can see how bad a 15-second penalty cost you. Manji and Stevens both missed their shots and they're both bottom of the leaderboard right now, okay? On your time, I would guess you're somewhere around my time. I thought you were quite quick on it.
So I've got to have beaten...
But the question
I've got
is,
to be ahead of Nash.
How much is the penalty?
No.
Yeah, you and Nash are good friends. You've been friends for a long time. The question is, are you ahead of him on the leaderboard? Do you think you will be or not?
I've got to have beaten you by 3 seconds.
Yeah.
No, I'm right. Yeah, go on then. Yeah, of course I do.
Right, let's find out. Where is TJ on the leaderboard?
He's down the bottom.
You're into third. 15-second
never had
penalty.
the penalty.
Oh,
If you take that off, You got 1:19, so you're 3 seconds slower than me.
Blimey.
And then that would have put you in second.
Yeah.
But the penalty killed you. So Nash, because he scored his shot, he's ahead of you.
Third is my lucky number. So
Will you still be there at the end of the challenge?
Oh, I imagine so. Yeah.
How'd you find it though? You enjoy it?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's great day that one. Yeah.
We've got a lot of boys still to do it, of course. So we'll see how it finishes up. But third place is decent so far. You're in the middle, so well done, mate.
Cracking.
Well done. Right, let's go back to the IMO now. The IMO 11. Let's reveal whether Vidic has made it in the team. Okay, you guys had a few minutes to vote now. Let's find out. Has he taken Bobby Moore's place? Let's have a look-see. Bobby Moore or Vidic? What is the new team saying?
Come on, man, yeah.
He's going to load it up in a second. This is drama. Apparently the results changed. No! No!
Overwhelmingly.
It's just like Brexit. I can't believe it.
I think it was the immigrant joke did it.
The immigrant joke did it.
Goal,
Apparently, originally the vote was a much bigger than that. Apparently, the original vote.
You could have chose a better photo. He looks fat there, man.
He does look quite fat there.
They've only given him 3 stars as well. Oh, I'm sorry.
If they pulled the photo out, you'd be able to see the darts and the paint in his hand.
You can see the pain of war in his hair. And
to be fair, at least there's a couple of English guys still in there. We've still got Gazza and Shearer, because I was worried it's going to become... But let's face it, English players aren't very good, are they?
No.
But Bobby was my favourite, and he's gone. It's a real shame.
I'm so sorry.
I know. I just hope people are voting with football brains and not just to get my players out the team.
I think it's to get your players out of the team.
I just don't want them in there. Well, who's going to get... He'll be the next one replaced, I reckon. I'm going to say it now. Someone's going to come in and take his place, because he's the weak link for me in that team.
I'll have Bruce in before him.
Anyway, that is the new IMO 11, guys. You voted. I'm disappointed in all of you. Right, sticker time. Everyone want to pick a pack of stickers? We've got some random ones in there. 2013, 2017.
Wow.
Euros.
I'll take one of Euros out, yeah.
Take a Euros one for Tej.
2013.
2013 for Vuj.
Got a retro.
2006.
You want to go this one, 2007?
Wow.
You got a pack already?
Wow.
Sweet, right.
I brought this.
That's fine. You brought them in?
Yeah.
You want to open them up and you've got to pick one sticker from the pack to put on the wall.
The best feeling, apart from like, I don't want to go into stuff that gives you good feelings, but this is up there.
Rip them
like
up.
pooing. Pooing is a great thing.
It's up there with pooing. David Vujanic, 2017.
That's something that you've got to do.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, wow. This is, wow.
Pick one player.
Wow.
On the wall.
I've got
half of Fulham side?
That's a bit of an anticlimax.
I'm not sure I can say my names.
I don't.
Mine aren't great either, but I've got one I'm going to go for.
Mr. Glass.
Oh, he's got Alan Smith.
What are you going to go
Is that
for?
what you're going with? You're a Newcastle fan, it makes sense.
What did you get, let's see?
He's got Alan Smith.
Oh,
Go this one.
That's all right.
why haven't they like...
It's a little one.
Alan Smith.
We've got a few of these already, to be fair, so we'll add that in there.
bad.
Right, Alan Smith's going to go on there.
I think I've got a limited edition one in here.
Who's that? Oh my God!
Wow.
How have you done that? Look what was in his pack.
Who's
that? You can't write this stuff. It's a Tom the Tarantula Jepson sticker.
That's got to go
Just
up.
working
That is genuinely what happened.
You've got to put it up, surely.
This is obviously going up. Can you actually tell us the story about this? Because this didn't actually come in that pack, did it?
Sorry, yeah, no, I get a lot of stick at work for being a YouTube sensation at the moment. So some girl got it from me, a Secret Santa. She made me some personal stickers, so I stuck it into my own pack.
So you got a lot of stick. You get a lot of sticker. Well.
Oh, there you go.
So Tom Jepson, he's going. I mean, this is preparation. He's come to the show and he's bought his own sticker with him. So you actually happy for me to stick this?
Sorry?
What a
You happy
guy.
for me to stick this on the wall?
Well, it's either that or the ox. So I don't know.
You get the ox?
Yeah, go on.
I'm saying if you don't want it, I thought you might want it at home or something.
Oh, I've got plenty. I've got loads at home, mate.
You got loads of them. You've had them made.
Oh, bedroom's
Right, TJ is getting his own place on the wall. I love that.
Yes.
Vuj?
Apparently so.
A doctor.
I mean, I didn't have the kind of most, I don't know, attractive players. I got Phil Neville, the worst Neville brother.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
Robert Hoof. Oh God, I don't know.
Robert Hoof.
Kevin Morales, just no.
No.
Like, that's the guy that, Kevin Morales is one of those guys that just wears like vapors but never does anything good. That's
Where's the
Kevin
boots?
Morales.
There you go.
But I want to go for Charles Nzogbia.
Charles, is that another Newcastle? Or is that when he's at Villa though?
I just
When he was
like
at Villa,
Charles
He was a
Nzogbia.
beast though.
He
Charles
was cool,
Insomnia.
wasn't it, with Liverpool?
Kinnear called him, wasn't it? Charles Insomnia.
I don't know, where is Charles Nzogbia right now?
If you're watching,
where
Charles, let us know you're safe. Let us know
I just
you're
want to know
safe.
he's okay. Like, I don't know where he is.
All right, and finally, Marlon, who you got, mate?
Yeah, just give us
Gone with.
a quick one.
I got Michael Ball. I've
wow.
got captain defender. That's what it says. Captain defender from.
Is that Lucas Neal?
Lucas Neal.
It is indeed.
We've had him already, you know. Look,
And-
that's Lee Bowyer.
Fabregas as well when he was good.
Oh, we've got Fabregas on there.
When he was
we
like
can,
5.
We can have it, but I'd rather not have someone we've already got.
I'll go with Lucas Neal.
Yes, good
Lucas
choice.
Neal.
West Ham captain defender Lucas Neal is going on the wall as well. The wall's getting there. I think that's the first West Ham player on there, you know. Decent, boys.
Very strong wall.
There we go. Right, let's stick that on there. The wall is coming together nicely, lads. Good work, thank you very much. Just leave your spare stickers on there. We'll sort them out later. Okay, we've got some questions now from you guys at home that wanted to tweet some stuff in that we haven't covered, and we're going to address them now. Let's take a look at the first one. Luca Duffy, do you think Aguero will leave this summer? What do we think, guys? I mean, if he keeps...
Wow.
He's not playing him, is he? He's not playing
He's going
him.
to come back.
Will he?
Yeah.
He's not playing him and they're winning.
At this time of the year, he's usually injured. So that's just what it is.
So just because he's not injured, you usually are injured.
Yeah, he's just sitting him out for a couple of games. Let Jesus do whatever Jesus needs to do.
Exactly.
Yeah?
We've got Lent coming up on it. It's a really big time for Jesus. And Aguero can fill in because he'd probably give up scoring.
For Len.
But then he'd come back, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
He hasn't scored. Sorry, Guardiola has said he doesn't really necessarily fit his system.
Yeah.
He's not going to be a sort of player that will put up with being on the bench for much longer. They've got a game tonight. If he doesn't start starting, I'd want to leave. I'd be like, mate, I'm one of the best strikers the Premier League's ever seen. You're not playing me. It's embarrassing.
In the world as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, he's going to stay there.
I mean,
Do you think he's going to play though? He's going to start getting
He's gonna
played.
get back in
if he does want to go, I think he'd be incredible in a black and white shirt.
Juventus.
Realise something that's only happened in my Pro Evo where Aguero goes to Newcastle. That's about it.
Yeah, I think he could leave. I think Newcastle might be a stretch though.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the next tweet. This one is from Brandon Duffy. Who's been the bargain of the season so far?
Oh, is that Bargain?
That's Bargain. Yeah, Luke Bargain's been great. No, the bargain of the season so far. Who do you think, guys? Who's been the best signing?
Matip.
Matip with free transfer. Your defence hasn't been great. I don't know if you put him in that.
Good. If he wasn't there.
It was a good signing.
Calamity.
It was a good signing.
How much was Kante? He wasn't.
Well, I mean, you could argue.
In today's climate.
He was like 32 million, but like he could have cost 65 and it'd still be worth it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's just inflation. It's just sign of the times. Ivanovic as well. He came for free.
Ivanovic?
Yeah.
Well, he's just left Chelsea.
No.
Who do you mean? Oh, Ibrahimovic.
That's the one.
Ibrahimovic.
They always do stuff.
We all did it.
Play games.
The mighty Zlatan.
Zlatan.
Purely
the
just
great,
to have him
I
about.
was saying the other one, but
Great
I'll
signing.
go with that one.
Free transfer.
Yeah.
Would have cost a lot in wages, obviously, but sold loads of shirts as well.
Yeah.
And then you got Mane.
Yeah, Mane was quite expensive though, wasn't
Mane was quite expensive.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Can't put a price
He
on it,
does.
but you can.
But
I think personally, I'm going to say Kante. I think he's going to probably win 2 leagues in a row, be the best signing of the season 2 years in a row. Even at 30 million, compared to Pogba, triple that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think, anyone else going to throw a name in there? Kante? Mane? Matip?
I'd go Kante.
Kante.
Kante's bloody good.
We're going to say bargain, 32 million bargain, who'd have thought it? Right, let's move on to the next question. Tom McKenzie, after the Super Bowl last week, do you think tournaments like the FA Cup could learn something and make finals more entertaining? I saw a tweet about this. Can you imagine like how we take it in England, the cynicism of our country?
Yeah.
If Lady Gaga came out halfway between like Villa versus Arsenal, they'd be outraged.
Jump from the top.
Sort of been experimenting with it at Palace though, right? Like they had the eagle,
And
where
the
they have the
crystals,
eagle
yeah.
and the cheerleaders and all that. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know what would you have? What would do? We don't really like ceremony, do we? We don't like fireworks.
We do it, to be fair.
Comfortable health and safety kick-off when we've got the fires down at Cardiff.
That's right.
I mean, to be fair, we had the Hammerettes at Arsenal for a while. That didn't last.
Hammerettes,
And
they
then,
do.
then I remember a few FA Cups ago, they had Tiny Temper and stuff come out, but it was pre the match, not
At West Ham?
No,
Tiny Temper.
Oh, no.
Ground with
problems. We couldn't get Tiny Temper. He wouldn't come. No, at the FA Cup final last year, we had Tiny Temper and I think someone else. I think maybe Jess Glynn or someone the year before. So they have done that sort of thing, but they do it pre-match to create the little bit of vibe. But it's just not the same thing as Super Bowl. It's not the same vibe.
And how long is the halftime of Super Bowl? And how long?
Well, that's the other thing as well. They do it quite tight, the show, but then...
Because Gaga was on a Spider-Man thing. She was... I thought that was sick. You know what I mean? She was on it.
The thing is, NFL is a completely different show. There's lots of breaks in it anyway and stuff. I don't know if it would work. I think maybe pre-match is fine.
I mean, it's magic of the cup, isn't it? It's like, it's all about just like gritting.
That's it, you've solved it.
A magician.
Get Paul Daniels.
There we go.
Bring him back, Devin McGee.
Make it disappear.
Yeah, Devin McGee, she'll love it. All right, let's have a look at the next tweet. I think we probably think it shouldn't be like the Super Bowl. Amanda Jani, how good is Martial and will he stay in the summer? Tom, Man United fan, how good is Martial?
Tony the Tiger. A big fan of Martial indeed. Yeah, no.
I'm what you call him, Tony the Tiger?
Tony the Tiger. Tony Martial. Yeah, no, I think hope he does. Hope he does stay. I think like if we get Champions League, then he's got nowhere to go for. He should stay with us.
Apparently, if he scores one more goal, you have to pay another 10 million.
Is that
nice?
Part of your deal. Yeah.
Bench him. I never liked him.
Bench.
Keep dead legs, left hand running down the field. Put him on the wing.
We've got another question, but I think we all agree Martial's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Rowan says, who has impressed you the most this season? We talked about that maybe with Kante being a bargain. Is anyone else for getting money? Who's been the standout players this season that's really done well?
Costa.
Diego Costa's done really well. Lukaku's been banging goals in. Dele Alli's second season has been as good as his first, if not better.
Martin Kelly at Palace, yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, right back.
Yeah. Niche. Yeah. To be fair, Dele Alli is one. I know it was last season that Tottenham brought him in, but what a signing he's been from relative obscurity at MK Dons.
Yeah.
He could have come to Liverpool.
Apparently, City is saying they're going to potentially break the world record bid for him, as much as Pogba. That would be outrageous. Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah.
He's only been there 5 minutes, but great signing. Sure. He wasn't cheap, I don't think, but decent buy.
That's Southampton guy, Gabbiadini.
A couple of goals on the weekend.
Incredible, man.
Right? And did you see him play?
And
the way he looks.
Wow, great sauce.
Right, last question, guys. This one is got a picture in it. What are those? I think he's referring to my skin. Oof. They're not socks. They're just my skin. It looks like I've got some really dodgy socks on.
Really dodgy.
You can see it there. I haven't got any socks on. They're just my feet. Yeah, my legs. Maybe it's because they're rolled up a bit. There we go. Let's roll them down for you, Anthony. Tony the Tiger, that was for you. Right. We're going to have the results of the mass debate, guys. The big one.
The mass debate.
Who is space?
Yeah,
mass debate.
Okay.
Is it a big debate? Right. Results, yeah. Before we do it, let's ask your comedians.
Yes.
It is messy, this one. Who do you think will miss out on the top four? We had our say. I need 2 clubs you think aren't going to get in the top 4.
City.
City?
City ain't going to make it. And Arsenal.
Not remotely tempted by the results of whatever we did. I'm going to say Liverpool.
No.
Yeah.
I think Liverpool maybe, yeah.
No.
So you think City and Arsenal, you think Liverpool need one more as well?
All right. City.
We're still going to win the league.
Wow.
Really? You think we're going to win the league?
We're going to win the league.
No, stop it.
Yeah.
You're mental. Let's find out what let's find out what you guys thought. The top 2 clubs are the most votes, but the 2 clubs that you guys decided aren't going to make it in the top 4. Let's find out who they are. It's Liverpool and Man United. I think that was what you said, wasn't it? You said United. No, you said United and Arsenal. Didn't you?
Arsenal, yeah.
Wow.
So everyone's pretty confident Spurs are going to do it.
They ain't going to do it.
I think I said Spurs wouldn't. I was one of them that said they wouldn't. But 5% think Spurs won't make it. 15, and also Man City as well. They're both 5%. So everyone's pretty confident they're going to make it. The last spot is between 3, Arsenal, Liverpool and United. They've gone with Arsenal to make it. So both North London clubs making it. But Liverpool and Man United, the big rivals, neither making the top 4, apparently. That would be a disaster for Liverpool, having 0 distractions.
What they've done is what I did earlier today, which is Google's Man United's fixtures list for the last 4 games. They've got to play City away, Arsenal away, and Spurs away.
Is that their last 4 games?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Brilliant.
But they could have done it by then if they kept.
They could have done, I guess so. But I think it's right up to the wire anyway.
It's going to be interesting, and even within this room ourselves, we're disagreeing about it. So it shows you it's a good mass debate, really, isn't it? But the people have spoken.
I love a good mass debate.
You guys have said Liverpool and Man United can miss out on the top 4. That's it for IMO Live this week, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. Check out everyone's links in the description, and hopefully you drop a like on the video if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. We'll see you next time on IMO Live. Until then, don't go change it. Bye bye.
Have a nice.
Have a nice.
Hi, Mum.